like, I feel like it's like one of those things like, once I get my schedule right, it's over for you hoes. Like, I'm gonna look so good, and I'm gonna like have my schedule. I'm like gonna get up and I'm gonna like go to the gym and I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna make all this money and I'm gonna look so good.
So let's talk about, so it's been a while since you've been on the podcast, and we'll just bring this up right up front because you said you wanted to have a throwback, right? Or a
yes.
Or a wait, do we want to call it a throwback or do we call it a what's the other thing they call it?
Like comedians do like, it's like a callback.
Callback. That's right. That's what I was thinking. So we'll do a callback to your first episode, entitled by Jacki.
That's what it wasn't what it was. I don't remember the title of it.
Yeah. No, it was
Detailing in like a woman's.
I think it was a woman's world or something. It was a woman's world with Jacki Orlando. Yeah. So there's the first one. So we're gonna do we're just gonna get everybody wasted. You wanted to propose doing a shot for every time you said.
Maybe not. Okay, not a shot, but like a sip of your drink. Like take a drink every time. Take a drink.
And let's just go ahead because everybody says that I say a lot. Let's just go ahead and get everybody wasted. Anytime Jacki or I say take a drink.
Take a drink.
If you've got the testicular fortitude to attempt that. 5 minutes in, I'm guessing everybody will be wasted and won't listen to the rest of the episode. But no, listen, we talk all the time, so this is going to be probably a little weird for us to stay on track. But there's some big news for you. I mean, it was been announced a month or so ago or whatever. You actually just did Rod and Jody's podcast yesterday to talk about it a little bit. So, first off, congratulations on becoming a part of the Detail Bookie team.
Thank you. Thank
For
you very
anybody
much.
who didn't know that yet.
Yeah.
So, like, how did that come about? Like, what was the process? What?
Are you trying not to say
Yeah, I was. Yeah. What was the process? What was the process? And like, how did you feel about it?
Okay, so this is my best friend told me too. She was like, I watched the first 30 minutes and you start every sentence with So
yeah, you did. I watched.
Yeah. So take a drink.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So it was kind of cool the way it came about. I guess it was. Now see, I'm too self-conscious. I'm trying not to say and I'm forgetting my train of thought. Okay, so sorry everybody. So we were at MTE. Rod and Jody and Dustin and everybody they had announced that Rod and Jody's company Zenware was buying Detail Bookie, taking over, and I think that was like mid-January or beginning of January or something like that. And then
it was kind of like right before MTE, I think.
Yeah, it was really close. So MTE, I went to Rod and Jody's booth and I said, I was like, hey, I hope this isn't too forward, but with the transition, like if you guys are looking to add any people, like anyone to the team, I would like to put my name in. And they started laughing, and immediately I panicked and I was like, oh no, I just put my foot in my mouth. I shouldn't have said anything. That was too forward. I shouldn't have asked, whatever. And then they said, they were like, no. it's funny you came to us and said that, because we were just talking about you last night and talking about having you be like some part of the team in some way. Right. And I was like, whew, okay. So glad. But yeah, so it, we had to get everything situated. But yeah, beginning of April, I am officially part of the Detail Bookie team. So I'm helping out with onboarding calls, demos, any support calls, things like that. And then I will also be at some of the trade shows and be in the Detail Bookie booth, talking about it, showing people everything like that. I'm pretty sure Shine Time Expo, I'm pretty sure I will be at that one.
That's the beginning of June in Houston,
Texas. Yes. Mm-hmm. So that is, the aviation museum.
Yeah, that's the new one. For anybody who doesn't know, that's the new one with the ADA and the detailers of the roundtable are kind of starting something to potentially replace SDC, is the way Kirk kind of told me. They're looking for something that not replace SDC, but kind of like falls in that same timeline of the year as SDC and can be another expo in detailing it, but they're partnering with Josh at the ADA, so they're going to make it a little bit more aviation and automotive, marine, etc. that most of the other ones are.
Yeah, there's so there's the main detailing conventions, I guess, is MTE, obviously, and then a lot of people go to SEMA, and that's towards the end of the year, and that's in Vegas. And then there's nothing really in the middle of the year that's like in the middle,
right?
Like that's Vegas and Florida, and there's nothing really like in the middle of the country in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
So, that makes sense. Like it's not like replacing it, but it is. It will be cool to have something else that people might have. Might be able to go to, like if some people can't make it to Florida, or like January is not a good time for them to travel or whatever, like that gives them another opportunity to go to something, to network with everybody, see what's going on. I really love conventions and trade shows and things like that. And I think that even if you've been in the industry for ever, I don't know, I think that they're still beneficial. I think that, the industry does change. There's different technology, there's improvements, there's advancements in chemicals and things. And so it's nice to keep up with everything, I think.
Yeah.
And then also, I think it is nice to continue to network with people. That's definitely one thing that I like about it, is that I get to see people that in person that I haven't seen since probably the last convention.
Right, exactly.
So I think that'll be cool to have something else, another opportunity for people to go to.
And sometimes it's nice to do that networking like outside of the trade show, Mm-hmm. Vegas is always kind of fun because there's usually always somebody's doing a party, or there's somewhere to go to, there's somewhere to kind of hang out. MTE is the thing I like about MTE is, for the most part, majority of the people stay on property. So like you walk out the doors and then everybody's hanging out, in the hallways, or goes to one of the restaurants, or, whatever. And so you can kind of have that continued networking experience. And to me, that's sometimes a little bit better than the actual show of, hey, here's the same compounded polish or pad or machine that we've been making for the last however many years. It's that, talking to, your friends or other detailers, hey, how did you do this, or how did you do that, or whatever. So
I feel like when I go to the shows and I like hang out with people afterwards, like I can't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, well,
Yeah,
I'll
I
call
do.
you and ask
I
you a
do.
question, and then like 30 minutes later, it was like, what?
Well, no,
Why
but
are
I've
we still talking?
also been to the trade shows with you, so I know that.
I talked about that on
Yeah.
the podcast with Rod and Jody. I told them about how I went to MTE the first year,
Yeah.
and how you were like, "Oh, I'll walk around with you," and
Yeah.
little did you know what you were
Yeah.
getting yourself into.
Yeah. I did not realize you wanted to go to every booth. You're like, oh, let's just go walk around. I was like, all
Let's
right,
just go
fine,
see.
let's go
Let's just
walk
go see. You're
around,
like,
whatever.
oh no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Oh no, I'm not interested in that
Yeah.
product or that service. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know. Let's just go
Yeah.
see. Let's just go see what they have. Like, what are they doing over here?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, because you were like a kid in a candy store at that point. I had already been to MTE a few times, so I kind of was like, okay, like I know that these are the guys that I want to talk to and be around. These are like the guys that sell the trinkets. I really don't want to talk to them. And then that's no man's land where, we don't go to or whatever. And you're like,
there's
nope, we're going
no, we're
there.
going over there.
Yeah.
Like,
We're going there. We're going here. We're going there. So, yeah.
I really, yeah, I just really wanted to kind of see everything. That's one thing that I don't get a chance to do with working.
Yeah.
Like being in the booths.
Right.
Like, so I've been in the booth with Pro for the past,
Right.
pretty much
But
every year, and I
but
don't
let's
get
kinda
to go around. Sorry.
right, but let's kind of backtrack a little bit with that, because for everybody who's listening and maybe is wondering, like, how do you, get on with these companies other than just walking up like you did to Rod and Jody and saying, hey, if you need some help. Because when you dragged me around that first time, one of the booths that you stopped at was Pro. And you
Yeah.
talked and you talked and you talked. And I think that's when I tapped out. I was like, Jacki, I'm going.
I'll see you
I'm
later.
yeah, I'm going over here. I'm gonna go talk with somebody or whatever. And you came back with bags full of tester products or sample products or whatever they gave you, and that led to you kind of having and I don't really know what the official title was, like an influencer
Brand
slash
ambassador.
affiliate, brand ambassador or whatever. But that led to you getting that kind of role in this industry, and led to you being in Pro's booth at MTE, at SEMA, so
So I think
that's
one of
also
the
a cool
things
thing.
that sort of led to that, it was really a lot of timing at that point. So that MTE, I actually did my CBSB. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was when Bob Myers was working with Pro, and he was one of the proctors of the certified detailer test.
Yeah.
So he saw me, and
Well, I think he was just coming off of being the IDA president, wasn't he?
no, that was after. That was after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
Because I know he was like 2000
think
or 2001, or
I
I'm sorry,
think
2020 or 2021 or something, I think.
I'm pretty sure Justin Lobato.
Lobato was 19.
Okay, so he was coming off of it. Then I don't.
So I thought Bob was either 2020 or 2021. Maybe somebody listening to
I thought
this
it was
knows.
more recent than that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Could be too. I don't know. I don't pay attention.
The years all just like blend together now, and like time isn't real. I have no idea. Like I'll say a thing. I'll be talking about something. I'll be like, oh yeah, the other day, 6 months ago. Like So anyway, so Bob was there, and I finished my test really, really fast. Like when we actually had the papers and I went through all the tests, and I finished it super, super fast. I was the first one to be done. And I actually I had my papers and I was like going to turn it in. And then I literally stopped, and I was just like standing up next to like their table, and I'm like flipping through. And they were like, hey, like, is everything okay? Like, do you have a question? Like, do you what's going on? And I was like, no, I'm just making sure that I answered all of them. Cause I'm just making sure that I answered everything, that I didn't miss any sections. And then I turned it in, and they said I only missed like 3 questions. They didn't tell me where or what it was, but so I don't know. I probably seemed like a crazy person. So I don't know. Like people remember me There's this crazy girl in there. Like, she was
Right.
really fucking weird.
So,
Um,
so by Bob being a part of that, then when he saw you in the pro booth,
yeah, possibly. I think, I mean, I did also go, like you said, I talked to Brendan and John in the booth, and I did talk to them a bit, and like we did talk a bit about me doing the CDSV. Because that was the morning that I had done my SV, I think. And I was like, I passed. Oh my God. I was so nervous. So I was just, I don't know. It's like, I guess it's like imposter syndrome. I don't know how to explain it. Because like, I feel like I know what I'm doing.
right.
But
But
then
at the same time, you don't.
Well, I just felt like I was going to just completely fuck up somehow. Like
Gotcha.
that I would just like blank out, or like, I don't know, which is weird because I've never had issues taking tests. Like, I know some people are like bad test takers, and so they that affects them. And for me, like, it's never been like that. So I really don't know what it was. I don't know. I was just so nervous. I was like, I don't want to mess this up. Like, I just really like don't want to mess it up. Like, I'm just afraid that I'm gonna make a stupid mistake and I'm gonna mix something up, or I'm gonna whatever. And I was fine. Everything was fine.
Well, and I don't know how the IDA does it now, but back then they were very make sure you passed. So
I mean,
I remember there was when I did it, I forget what it was. There was like 5 things and I had 4 of them, and I couldn't remember the 5th one, whatever it was. And the guy's like, dude, you've got 4 out of the 5. Like, you passed. I was like, no, I'm gonna get the 5th one. And so like he was like, well, think about this. And
I feel like, okay, was it?
Yeah.
Did it have to do with like the like safety? Because there's like hearing protection, eye protection,
Yeah,
like
I think
gloves.
I think it was.
And now I can't remember like what else.
Steel-toed shoes
Okay.
that was the one that I couldn't think of because I don't know a detailer that wears like steel-toed shoes.
Okay, so wait, that's 4. All right, so
There
steel-toed
was
shoes,
eye protection, ear protection. There's
gloves.
respirator,
Oh,
gloves,
gloves and respirator.
yeah,
Okay.
and then steel toes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he was like, he said something along the lines of like, look down at your feet. And I was like, oh yeah, steel toes.
Yeah.
So like I felt like they kind of like, made sure that you would pass it, as long as you just weren't like a complete imbecile.
I think, yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. I think that they can kind of just tell like that you actually know what you're talking about, and you're just kind of having a brain fart, like you're just having a moment. Like
Walt Sanders took his SV before me. I think in 19 was when I did mine. And he told me there was a guy there when they got to like the extraction or the hot water shampooing, like part of it or whatever. There was a guy that got like everything wrong or the whole thing wrong. And they were like, hey, listen, like, take an hour, go review it, come back. And the guy goes, I don't do carpet shampooing, so I'm not going to do that. And they're like, well, we can't pass you. And he's like, all right. And he just left.
I don't
paid
understand
all that,
that.
paid all that money, paid all that money, and it was just like, fuck it, I'm out.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe another reason why I was so nervous, is because I didn't want to fail and then have to retake it and have to spend that money again. I was like, no. So I was just really nervous. But anyway, like with pro, I don't know, they had contacted me pretty shortly after MTE. And then we kind of just went from there. And then that was pretty much when COVID exploded and a lot of things changed. So we sort of put everything on hold. So we really didn't do very much together until like the following year. I think, it was 2021 Southern Detailers Conference. So we really didn't do anything else in 2020 because of COVID.
Right. So you weren't with them at MTE then in 2021? Okay.
No, 2021 MTE didn't happen.
Yeah, we had MTE.
What? No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that was the year that you and I were going to go to SEMA. And then
we didn't go to SEMA because SEMA was No, 2021 was when we were going to go to SEMA, and SEMA was kind of a bust, but we had MTE. I'm pretty sure we had
No, we
MTE.
canceled MTE and we canceled SEMA.
No,
I
SEMA
think.
happened. We
Oh,
didn't.
sorry.
We didn't go
Yeah,
because not like everybody was making out like they weren't going to go, and it kind of was a dead SEMA from what I remember. I think the only people that really went were like true people that were buying. Wasn't all the
I'll have to
melee.
Google it.
I'm pretty sure.
I know SEMA happened. It's just like we
Yeah, I'm
just
pretty sure
decided not to go.
2021 MTE happened because COVID happened in March. I think April was the shutdown or whatever. So we had 2020 MTE. We didn't have 2020 SEMA. And I was pretty sure Florida was back open again by 2021 to have 2021 SEMA or 2021 MTE. Where's Sheldon when you need him?
I know. I don't know.
Because I don't think I've ever missed an MTE since I started going, and in like 2017, maybe 18. I don't think
I'm
I've
just
missed one.
kidding. It definitely did. There's
Yeah.
a Instagram post of.
See, I told you.
Okay.
I know.
So then what? Did I not go to that one? I don't know. I feel like there was like something.
I don't know. Oh well.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
No. Wait. Okay. Mobile Tech Expo in 2021 did not happen in Orlando. They did the Vegas one in August.
Yeah, but they still did the Orlando one too.
Okay. Well,
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
But either way, whatever. Nobody
sure.
cares about this part. They've already left the podcast at this point.
They're gone. We've lost everybody.
These idiots are arguing about whether MTE happened. Who cares? All right. So anyway, so
Okay.
SDC,
Yeah.
you
So
get
I
to
did,
go.
like-
You get to go to Louisville. You get to be in the booth and all that stuff. What was that like first time? Being in the booth versus walking around.
It's just a lot of talking. Like I just talked nonstop.
Right. So for most people that know you,
Which wait, why are you gonna say like how is this different from your normal?
No, yeah, no, I'm not going to say that. No, but what I was going to say is for most people that do know you, and I do know you, you're not a very outgoing talking person to people unless you kind of know them. So how you, with all your anxiety and like, just fucking text me kind
Wow,
of
we're just gonna put
attitude.
this all out on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that work for you?
I don't know. Okay, so when I was a bit younger, like I did trade shows. Like I was a trade show model. Like I did a booth one time at oh my god, there was one. Oh my god, it's called IAPA. I forget what it's called, but I did that one 2 years in a row. There was another one that was like software and tech. There was one where like I learned to do screen printing. I was literally doing like screen printing demos at one of these trade shows. I was like all different things. Like I was basically just I was just a promo model. I wasn't with any one company. So the companies just hire like for, they hire people just to be like greeters in the booth essentially.
Yeah.
And I was really good at that. I have people literally that email me now and I haven't done, they email me. They're like, hey, we're doing a convention, blah, blah, blah in Orlando. Like, are you still doing it? And I haven't done a convention since probably 2014, 2015. So almost 10 years later, I have people doing it. So one of the things that I did that was different than a lot of the other booth models was that I actually researched the product or the company or the whatever. So that's how I learned about SEO. Okay. Because I did a trade show for a company that did SEO. And the night before the show, I looked on their company. Like I read their whole bio about their company. I looked up to see like what SEO was. And then also the other thing that I do is I listen to what the salespeople are saying. So then by the third day of the show, they were like, do you want a job? Like, you'll have to move to New York, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They were literally so happy with me. But yeah, so I have already done all of this. This is, I don't know if I want to give away all my secrets. This is, it's almost a character for me. I play a character.
Yeah.
This is work Jacki.
Right.
To some extent, because I am still very like open and natural with people, but the way that I'm able to put aside my introvert anxiety awkwardness is I just go into this character, and that is
and it probably helps that everybody at MTE that you're dealing with or talking to has the same interest in you too, so it probably makes it a little bit easier versus if you're just out on the street and somebody comes up and is like, hey, how you doing, and you're like, oh, get away from me, weirdo.
I mean, no, because I did like yes and no. It's a lot easier now, but I also did like I worked in nightlife. Like I was a bartender, I was a VIP host and everything like that, and so I had to
have
talk to just people, whoever was sitting at the bar in front of me,
right.
So I have done both, but it's just a character. It's work Jacki.
Yeah.
And when I am not working, just text me, don't call me. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
I just call you just to bug you.
Oh, I know. I figured that out by now.
Yeah.
You call me on purpose because I don't like phone calls.
Absolutely. Oh, I called you. I'm just calling because I'm driving and text to talk, and I'm just like laying on the couch. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. So fast forward back to Detail Bookie. So Rod and Jody, say, hey, we were thinking of, yada yada yada. So like, then how does like all of that? I mean, do they come to you and say, hey, we would like for you to do X, Y, and Z, or is that something that you kind of said, hey, like I've used this product enough, so I have a good idea of it. I know how to, and you've gone back and forth with Mitch a lot, who's the tech guy, right? Because you've had a lot of not issues with it, but you've had a lot of like, hey, could it do this? Or I'm trying to do this, but it's not doing it the way that I want it to do. So you've had that relationship with.
Oh, I'm the one that got them in trouble for their texting, and they had to revamp their whole entire texting system.
Oh, really?
It's because I customized everything, and in order to stay within like carrier spam regulations, you have to do certain things, and you can't customize it as much as I did. And I because of all my customized texts and whatever, it was like flagging them. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
So technically what you're saying is you're the reason why Dustin got fed up with it and sold it.
I mean, probably.
It's like, fuck Jacki. She's doing
I'm tired of her shit.
Yeah, he's like, let's just dump this company. You know who will dump it off on?
Rod and Jody.
They're suckers.
Let them deal with her.
Yeah. And then he's probably like, hey, you guys should hire Jacki.
Oh my God. So actually I have a funny little tidbit.
Hang on. Before you do that, hey, Rod and Jody, if you're listening to this, see, I am Thug Life. So don't play.
Thug Life? What?
Yeah, because they said yesterday that I'm not really Thug Life on their podcast.
Okay.
Because Noxie made that thing about me, Thug Life.
I'm out of the loop on this one.
Little keychain. There's a little keychain of me that Noxie made. It says Thug Life, and then it's a picture of me. It's a picture of my head or my face photoshopped on Danny DeVito's body from like
oh my God,
the Penguin or something like that. And then it's like in an ice cream cone. So it's like an ice cream cone and then Danny DeVito's body with my face on it, and it says Thug Life, and it's a keychain that Aaron Knox made. So yeah,
I don't even know where to begin on that. That has so many.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was definitely out of the loop on that one, so I
Yeah.
don't know. I didn't know about the thug life thing, but
Yeah. This podcast is sponsored by Detailed Image. What sets Detailed Image apart? Their outstanding customer service and fast shipping on 3,000 detailing products from almost 100 brands, plus their extensive product descriptions, detailing blog, and how-to guides make it easy to choose the right products for any job. And here's the best part. Listeners of the Detail Solutions podcast get an exclusive 15% off with the promo code DSP15. That's DSP15 for 15% off your order. Another option for the pros listening is their incredible wholesale program that saves you on average of 15 to 30% off. In 2024, wholesalers saved on average of $699. There are no fees, no commitments, and no subscriptions, just huge savings. Join today at detailedimage.com/wholesale/DSP, and you'll get a bonus $20 credit when you make your first purchase. Again, for the wholesalers, that's detailedimage.com/wholesale/DSP and get an extra $20 credit.
Anyway, so there is another software company, and we do not get along.
Okay.
And we do not get along because
Like you personally, not saying where wrote it as
personally,
Detail Bookie. Okay.
me personally,
yeah.
Jacki Orlando does not get along with this other software company
Okay.
because I absolutely do not like their sales tactics.
Okay. Oh, I know the one.
Yeah. Anyone who's
you're always that used to be one of my favorite shirts to wear just because it was a bullshit shirt. And you used to yell at me for wearing it.
Their sales team,
it's terrible. Yeah.
It's disrespectful is what it is. But so I had a little interaction with them. I've had multiple interactions with them over time. Like they've emailed me multiple times. Different people from the company email me. I'm like, take me off your list. I'm not interested. I already have software. I'm not interested. Thank you very much. And I'm nice in the beginning. I'm like, no, thank you. Like I already have software. Like I'm all set. Like please take me off your list. I'm not interested in switching. I think at one of the MTEs they were like handing out stickers, and I was having a very serious, like very obvious, very serious conversation with somebody, and they just like walked up and like shoved stickers like in our face, and I'm like, what? Like what? No. So that was like, I think that was actually my first impression of them. I didn't like that from that. And then the multiple emails happened, and I asked them multiple times, please take me off your list. I'm not interested, blah, blah, blah. And then they called me, and like I actually recorded these calls, and like I said to them, I was like, I'm going to record this phone call. I'm letting you know that I'm recording this right now. Do not contact me again, or else I will consider it harassment. Do you understand? And they go, yeah. And I said, okay, goodbye. And I hung up. And they called me back.
Which is crazy because I've had the owner of the company on the podcast at MTE, and he was a super nice guy. So
okay, they just hate me apparently. But okay, but also it's not just me, because the other thing that I think is very disrespectful is they actively talk shit about other software companies. So that's another thing. So like people, specifically Detail Bookie, I know for sure because we have a Facebook group, and people have said like, hey, I got an email from this other company, and they said something like, they just said like, oh, Detail Bookie is shitty. Come try our software. And they're like that's so uncalled for. So
I just want to say this because everybody listening is probably like, ooh.
No, don't say, no, I don't know. Well, I guess it's your podcast. You can say.
So I won't say it because I don't want to, ruffle feathers with Rod or Jody or anything like that. But for everybody who's listening, it's not any of the people in the industry that you would think of. And that's what makes it so weird, is they don't really seem like a detail CRM type company. I mean, they're just a CRM company that I think tried to get into the detailing world or whatever. But it's none of the main 4 or 5 that you would think that it is. So for everybody who's thinking, ooh, is it this company?
Okay, so it's not Detail Bookie, it's not RoadFS, it's not Urable, it's not Orbis X.
Orbis X, yeah.
It's not
those are the only ones
Mobile Tech RX.
Okay.
It's not Jobber. It's not House Call. It's not any of those. It's a different one.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so
everybody's let down right now. They're like, damn it, we were hoping for some drama.
So yeah, like their sales tactics are just like not okay. I don't like it. And one of the things, so after that interaction happened where I said, do not contact me again, and they called me back, I went and wrote Google review, Facebook review. And I said exactly that. And I said in my review, I am not a user of this software. I will never, you can't pay me to use this software because of the sales team. And I explained, and one of their comments was like, Jacki, give it a rest. We know that you work for one of our competitors. And I was like, no, I use their software. Like just because I use Colgate to brush my teeth doesn't mean I work for them. Like, what? Yeah. And so anyway, so Dustin knew about this whole conversation. I messaged him the other day and I said, they manifested it for me. Like they manifested it for me.
Yeah, you should write him back and be like, "Yeah, bitch, I do work for him now." Thanks.
Yeah, now I do. Thanks. But okay, I don't know what were you talking about before the software. Why was I talking about that?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. That's the beauty of a conversational podcast is we can go from A to Z and totally skip over B through Y.
Yes, but that's also primary component of a conversation with me is I saw a meme that says like people have trains of thought. I have a Roomba of thought. Like it just goes and it bumps into something and goes in a completely different direction.
Yeah. Well, my problem is I just don't remember the last thing that was said most of the time either. So it's hard for me to go back. So I believe what we were talking about is, if I can remember correctly, I was asking you about the lead up to, actually coming in with Detail Bookie. So they talked to you.
Yeah.
They said, hey.
Yeah. So we actually had a couple really long talks because so I do remember now you said like, how did they kind of figure out your role?
Yeah. What was that? Yeah. What you're actually going to do. Yeah.
So we had several long talks and they kind of explained what they had envisioned my role to be. Mm-hmm. And so I'm basically like a sales engineer, essentially. So I am the go-between the end user that uses the software and the dev team. And so when someone, either a new user or like a potential customer or even someone who uses the software and they say like, hey, how do I do this? Can we do this? Trying to figure out different things with the software. And then I figure out what their needs are. And then I present it to the dev team to see like, is this something that we can do? Is it not something that can is it something that's in the pipeline, but we don't have it yet? Or I'm kind of the go-between, but then I'm also, I guess you could call me like a customer success manager. Because I want to, part of my job also is to make sure that all of the users of the software are happy with it. They're making it work for them.
Right.
So I, work with the users to make sure that the software is working for them. And like, how can we figure that out? How can we make that happen for them?
Right. So, hey, thanks for calling Detail Bookie. This is Jacki. How may I help you? Is that like how?
I mean, no. So I actually do I do video calls, really.
Okay.
Like I haven't had that many phone calls, at least not
yet.
I
would imagine that. The software is more of a Zoom call than a phone call kind of thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, people can call. I do have an extension if you call the main Detail Bookie line, then I'm extension 902. So you can call and it will ring directly to me. Whether I'm available at that time is another story. That is actually a really great thing.
I mean, let's call back to earlier in the episode. Jackie prefers text. So if you call that number, you're probably going to leave a voicemail.
I'm sitting there. Just threw my phone on the ground. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting there watching the phone ring. Like,
yeah.
No. No, I don't do that. I don't do that with work. I don't. Like, I am. Yeah.
I know.
One of the things that Ron and Jody have been really good working with me about is that I have a lot of like doctor's appointments every week. This isn't really something that I've posted about on Facebook, but I am like having an increasing amount of health issues. And I have doctor's appointments every single week, like multiple hours of doctor's appointments every single week. And so when I say like, oh, I might not be available to answer the phone, is because I might be like in my doctor's office.
Right.
So that's why I say like, oh, I might not be available. But yeah, it's mostly like Zoom calls. People can book on my calendar, like a 30-minute one-on-one, and we can go, I can answer their questions. They can share their screen. I can walk them through stuff. I can share mine,
right.
Show them whatever. And yeah.
And just for like, maybe people are listening to this and don't understand, because I don't think we really touched on it too much of why you're qualified for this, is you were like one of the first people with Detail Bookie. So you've been using it since the beginning, and every issue you've had, you always went to Dustin, helped him with changes and things like that. So that's what kind of gives you a little bit of insight into Detail Bookie more than the other software, RoadFS.
So I wasn't like the I don't know, I wasn't like in the very first users,
but you were.
I was definitely I was definitely one of like the OG group of users, and so I have figured out how to make Detail Bookie work for my business. And yeah, like you said, like anytime I had an issue with something, or anytime I had a question with something, I would bring it up to Dustin or Ryan or Christine or whoever was available at that time or whatever. And yeah, I would ask them like, hey, can I do this? Or, hey, why isn't this doing this? Or because I think because of how much messing around with the software that I did, I actually uncovered quite a few like bugs as I was like going through things. And so I would like send screenshots and I'd be like, hey, I was trying to do this and this happened. Like, is that supposed to happen? Am I not able to do that thing? Or is that something that's not supposed to happen? And so there was a lot of those conversations.
Right.
And
they were probably looking at their phone like, this bitch Jackie's calling.
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, now I'm working with Mitch, and he probably hated me before. Like, fucking Jackie has a question.
And he's like, no, you're sweet, Jackie. It's okay. Like,
no. But yeah, so that is definitely one of the reasons why I agree. Like, I am pretty qualified to be in this position because I use the software. I know how it works. There's really no like training or trial for me, really.
Yeah. You're training Rod and Jody pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, like yes and no, because they had prior to purchasing the software, like purchasing the company, like they knew some of the features of the software, because Dustin and Rod and Jody were always like really, really great with each other. I feel like, so they would say, okay, well, we don't have that feature, but they do, or like they,
Yeah, I think Rod and Jody, or one of them, or maybe both of them, when I've had them on before or was on theirs, talked about how they like everybody kind of in that space is a little friendly with each other, and especially with RoadFS and Detail Bookie, that hey, if we can help you, you got a thing we don't have, we have a
Mhm.
thing you don't have. There was a little bit of back and forth with that, if I remember correctly, of past podcasts with them.
Yeah. No, and I really liked that. I actually they did a presentation at MCE one year. Now Rod and Jody and Dustin have done a couple together, but there was one year where it was about, like, I forget exactly what the class or seminar or whatever was called, but it was something like CRM, like, why do you need it?
Yeah.
And it was Detail Bookie, RoadFS, You're and Mobile Tech RX. And they just answered questions and they did their class all together. And there was no competitive, like, it was just like, hey, the idea of it was that the more detailers that use some kind of software in general, it makes you look more professional.
Right.
And by having more professional detailers, like, elevates the industry as a whole. So their thing was like, okay, you may not use our software, but you should be using a software.
Right.
Like, you should be using something. So that was kind of their thing, and I really liked that. But
yeah. Do you have any like wants of trying to learn more about that, especially now with Rod and Jody and the fact that they have like a huge like software development type company? Because they don't just do Zenware, or Zenware does more than just RoadFS and now
right.
Detail Bookie. So do you have any like inkling to ask them more about, hey, maybe like kind of back in, like how this really works, how do you get into it? Or are you more of like want to stay kind of on the front end side of it as a user and then say, well, hey, I thought about this, could you guys make that happen? Versus you say, hey, I thought about this, can we go behind the scenes and make it happen together?
I mean, I haven't really thought about that very much specifically, I guess. I would say, what?
I said, now you will.
I would say, like, my first instinct is probably to say, like, first of all, like, I'm open to seeing whatever happens, seeing how I feel in the future. Like, I'm open to kind of wherever life takes me, I guess, with it, with this new journey with them. Like, I'm kind of open to wherever it takes me. But I would say right now, I would probably feel more comfortable, like, on the like user side of it, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't know, because like, some detailers, they just, okay, cool, I just want to use the product. Hey, I'm looking for something like this. Cool, I have it. Here you go. Try it out. Tell us what you want. And other detailers really, are like, oh, I want to get in the lab and I want to work with the chemist. So I mean, like, kind of the same thing. I didn't know maybe if you had any.
So funny. I was actually just talking to another friend the other day about pretty much that he was saying that he wants to take like a college chemistry course, just to have more knowledge about chemicals in general, so he can understand better why things happen with certain chemicals, or what chemicals, like, I don't know, just in general, he wants to understand more of the chemistry stuff. I was literally just talking with him the other day that he mentioned that. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I watched John Hogg make ceramic in front of me. It doesn't look like it's all that hard. I mean, it's like 3 components. You just weigh it out, mix it together, bada bing, bada boom, you got a ceramic coating. Like,
it's like when you see those like cooking shows and they have everything in like little bowls, and then they just all dump it into one big bowl.
Yeah. It's like, wait, you didn't say how much is in that little bowl to dump in here to begin with. So it's like, oh, we're just gonna add some salt. No, how much salt? Like, what's a pinch? How much is a pinch? Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing that so you mentioned about the softwares, and it actually kind of brings up another thought of something else that has been going on in my life recently. And I now know how to use Urable's software.
Okay.
Because another thing that I'm doing, like I'm still running my detail business.
Mm-hmm.
And I am working with Detail Bookie, and I am also working with a detail shop, and I'm basically like closing leads and booking customers for them.
Nice.
And they use Urable. So,
ooh, sneaky.
so like I actually know how to use like 3 different softwares, and I've like learned, I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do anything like, I'm not trying to do anything shady.
Sure.
Oh
Sure.
my God.
What? Nobody can see me winking.
I know.
Audio podcast. I'm just kidding.
No, but so you joked about me being not liking phone calls. That is all phone calls.
Yeah.
All phone calls. People will, they have like a lead generation form, and so people put their information in that they're interested in whatever service they're advertising. And I call them when the lead comes in. I call them, and I try and book them for an appointment. And so I had to learn how to use their software.
Right.
And they actually use 2 softwares, because they have like a booking software, and then they have another one that kind of brings the leads in and like does the ads, and I don't know. Yeah. So I had to learn both softwares that they use. And this is crazy for me, because I've never had an office job. And now I have 2. Technically, I have 2 office jobs.
Right.
And it's so bizarre for me. I've always
You're
worked
not
in
technically
detailing.
in an office though. Like
No.
it's an office style job, but you're not sitting in a cubicle or anything.
No. So they're both remote.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Get to work from home.
Honestly, it really is. And again, the other shop that I'm working with has also been really flexible with my doctor's appointments and things like that. Yeah. I can kind of set my own hours, like for both of them.
Well, let's face it, nobody wants to move to Boise. You know, what are you gonna do? Walk around with a shirt? Idaho? No, Idaho.
So I've never had an office job. I've never had a remote job before. I've always worked in detailing or like hospitality in some form, like restaurants,
right? Some type of service provider.
Service industry. Yeah.
Because detailing is a service industry, whether people want to.
Yes. So but usually when you say service industry, people think like food and beverage.
Food and beverage. Yeah, but I mean, we do provide a service. I mean, technically.
So I have always been in jobs that are hands-on service industry.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that I am in 2 roles now that I'm, I don't know, behind the scenes, I guess. Like, I don't know.
On the computer, talking on the phone.
Yeah. I had to you know this because I told you all that, but I had to reorganize my whole entire desk.
Right.
Had to clean out all of my stuff. And
how has that change been for you? I mean, is it more refreshing or relaxing, or is it more because you're used to being on your feet, moving around, go, and then now you're sitting and it's like caged animal?
It has been a really, really big adjustment period for me. The hours are different. Like there's so much different. Like, yes, I'm sitting in front of a computer, which I'm not used to, visually, like looking at a computer all day long or looking at my phone all day long. Like that has been kind of an adjustment period. I'm not used to sitting for, like you said, like I'm normally on my feet, detailing, walking around, whatever. It's also a different schedule. So when I was detailing, when I say was, because I guess people don't know this either. Nobody knows anything. I'm posted about anything. Nobody knows anything about my life right now. So again, going off with like the health issues that I've been having, I have taken a step back from physically detailing.
Right.
And I am working on creating a network of trusted detailers in Orlando. And so when my customers call me, I say, okay, like who's in the area, who does that service, who has the availability, and I send them.
Yeah.
I send that detailer.
Almost like a Jacki's list or an Angie's list.
Yeah.
Call it
Jacki's list. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trusted detailers like that. I know these people. I've either worked with them or seen their work. Yeah. So I have taken a step back from physically detailing. I still go to job sites sometimes and pop in and I don't know, kind of like help out if needed or whatever, or like say hi to the customer or talk to the detailer who's doing that
Show
job.
face.
Yeah. Show like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still the face of the company. I'm still running everything. Quality checks, all those things, making sure the detailer has anything they need. Like, I'm running out of whatever. Okay, here, use mine. So with my schedule with detailing, my hours of my business were 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I was out of the house. Like we were on the job site 7 a.m. is when we would start. So I was out of the house like 6:30, or 6:30, 6:45, depending on where in Orlando I had to go that morning. And I leave the house before anyone else is awake. And then I'm home in the afternoons. And again, one of the reasons I designed my work schedule that way, which is a great thing you can do as a business owner, is you can decide what you want to do.
Yep.
I would have like doctor's appointments and things in the afternoon. All of my doctor's appointments are always in the afternoon because I always worked in the morning. Now I'm like, well, I can't call people at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I don't need to be up that early.
Right.
So
now you went from first one up to last one up.
Sometimes I'm trying to figure it out because I did like there was some days where I would like fall back asleep and then wake up like 9, 10 o'clock and I'm like, what year is it?
Yeah.
Like what just happened? But yeah, it's a really big adjustment period. So now I am more kind of on a 9 to 5 schedule.
Okay.
Because that's generally when, those are pretty much my available hours for Detail Bookie, but then also for the appointment book, like lead stuff. You don't want to call people like outside of those hours.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty much like I make calls in the morning around like 9, 10, 11.
Yeah. So do you just like for scheduling for the shop in town, do you just schedule or do you just make those lead phone calls in and around your like 30-minute Zoom meeting calls with RoadFS kind of deal?
Yeah. So I pretty much tell them like if I'm available to take calls, because also they have someone else, part of the software that they use for like the ads and stuff. They have, I don't know, like not an appointment setter like me, but it's literally just like a caller, like someone that just calls just to get these people on the phone.
Right.
Like they have given us their phone number, call them, get them on the phone. Once they're on the phone, they transfer them to me.
Gotcha.
So I tell them like, hey, I'm available to take transfers today between this time and this time. Or like today, for example, I had so much going on today and I told them, I'm like, listen, I'm not available to take transfers today. I will text and call people in between everything else I had going on.
Right.
And like, that's fine. And that job is commission only. So they don't,
right.
Like, pretty much work as much.
Yeah. Cause if you're not doing it, then they're not paying you and it's not. Yeah.
So, actually on that, I just had my first, like closed, well, not my first closed sale, but like completed
Okay.
Right. So I don't get paid until that customer shows up for their appointment, the car is done, and they pay their invoice. Right.
Right.
Like, so even though I've booked appointments for people, like they've like been in advance.
Right.
And so I actually this week just had my first closed invoice.
Nice.
And yeah, I was really pumped about that.
That's cool.
So yeah, my schedule is like completely different. One of the things that I started doing, I started going on walks around my neighborhood. I figured out that 3 loops around my neighborhood is just over 1 mile. And so I've been doing that. I've been trying to do that. Like I've done it a few days in a row this week. Like
right.
I got to get out there today.
Yeah. I'm missing my walk today.
I'm trying to,
we do a 3-mile loop.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I had to work up to it. I couldn't like a mile in, and I was like, I'm done, Michelle. Like, we're going home. But now, like, I feel like 3 miles is like nothing, but it's nice. I actually enjoy it because, like, one, it's kind of like me and Michelle's alone time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she gets home from work. It's lighter out now, especially on the days we don't have to take Haley to cheerleading. So like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we can do walks when she gets home from work. And then the other days, like if I don't have anything scheduled in the mornings or like Tuesdays or Thursdays or whatever, if I get done early, then I'll just put headphones on and I'll go myself. You know, I'll just put on some music or put on a podcast. I'll go do it myself. And I've actually really gotten into enjoying it. Like I look forward to, surprisingly, I look forward to going on a 3-mile walk. You know, like, I'm like, let's go. So
I think the only time I've really done a 3-mile walk is when I was like really upset and I was like, I'm gonna walk to cool down. I need to calm down. I'm gonna go walk. And I just walked around my neighborhood and I came back and my Apple Watch said it was like 3 miles. And I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, so going from an active job to an inactive job, I'm sitting all day.
Yeah. You need that exercise for that.
I have to make sure that I'm doing something.
Yeah.
To just to keep myself active. And yeah, it's been a really big adjustment for me for like all those reasons. Like the schedule is different, like the job itself is different. It's everything, and it's definitely been an adjustment.
So with doing Detail Bookie and then doing the like the scheduling for the shop, are you hoping to get to a point to where maybe then, and I know you said you're not really detailing, but you're still kind of like doing things with it. Are you looking to hopefully get those to a point to where you just completely pull back and not do anything with the detail business? Or are you still wanting to still kind of at least push that forward and help, you know, other detailers in the area or whatever, like you're doing now, team up with them, I guess?
So I feel like we may have actually talked about this briefly on like the first time. Maybe I don't know, or maybe it was
like 4 or 5 years.
I know that was so long ago. Who remembers? No, but my goal has always been to build my business so I can step back from it.
Gotcha.
And right now, unfortunately, I'm somewhat being forced to. I say I'm being forced to, but like
it's your body limitations, really.
And what I'm doing now as different is I am listening to my body.
Okay.
I'm listening to my body that has been screaming at me for years, and I have so many unchecked symptoms, and we're trying to figure out where the heck it's all even
your check engine light's been running for a while, and you just put a little piece of tape over it and kept on going. Yeah.
And like the car's still running, like I can still detail, but now I've taken the car into the shop. I'm like, I need to figure this out.
You're being
I need
smarter
to take a
about
step
it.
back. Yes. And I think that is something, you know, a lot of detailers do struggle with. That we don't listen to our bodies.
No.
We,
Push and push and push.
we'll work sun up to sundown, and it's a physical job. And like one of the things, you have to stretch before and after, like, or you're going to be paying for it eventually. Like, you know.
Well, and that's like, I was talking to somebody the other day. Somebody called me, one of these guys, we'll help you grow your business. We'll do this, we'll do that. And I said, look, man, I said, I appreciate it, but here's where I'm at, like I'm getting older, and I'm not trying to burn the candle at both ends anymore and work, crazy hours like a lot of the younger detailers that are out there. It's more important for me to be at home. So, and most of the people that listen to the podcast know it. In fact, I even think Ron and Jody kind of, hinted to it when you talked to them yesterday. I mean, you talk about working 7 to 1. I mean, most of the times I work 8 to 2 because I work while Haley's in school. So I drop her off at school at 7:30. I can be at the shop at 7:45, 7:50, open a door, schedule an appointment at 8 o'clock. And if it's something small like an interior detail or washing a sealant or something that's only a 2 to 4 to 6 hour job, then I tell them like, hey, it'll be done by 2 o'clock. Come back and pick it up. And then I go pick Haley up from school when she gets out at 2:30. If it's a bigger job like a coating, I just work on it till 2 o'clock. And then I go in the next morning and I finish it up. It's a multiple day job anyways. I kind of can't wait until she starts driving here in a few months so that next year's school, I don't have to drive her to school and I don't have to pick her up. And if I'm still detailing at that point, because hopefully Aquatech booms, if anybody wants to buy some Aquatech, I'll sell you some. But hopefully Aquatech's at a point where maybe I'm not working as much at the shop. But if not, it'll be nicer to be like, oh, well, I've got this, correction and coating job in. Instead of cutting out at 2 o'clock, I can work till.
Sorry, I just had a really funny. Okay, next MTE or next show or whatever you go to, you need to buy like a really just like big long trench coat. And just put little Aquatech bottles in it and just walk around the show and be like,
I got
like, I got the good stuff over here. And like open your coat and it's just like all bottles of Aquatech.
It's not a bad deal. Maybe I will.
You're welcome.
Maybe I will. Yeah. Jason, I'm going to need a bunch of bottles.
I'm going to need a custom trench coat.
Yeah. I'll put that on the Aquatech tab.
I'm sorry. I interrupted, but I was like,
no. That's fine. No, but I mean, like, like kind of what I was saying is, I mean, I still don't want to work a ton, but, if I, when she goes to school, if I can, hey, if I can knock a job out in one day, give it back to the customer the next day, and then take a day or two off, like, then that's typically how I try to do it. I mean, I try to be smarter about it now because you're right. I mean, it takes a toll. I mean, I know if I get a car that's kind of beat up and I actually have to correct and polish it versus just do a light polish on all the new cars that I normally get, like I come home and I'm like beat, like like I wake up the next morning, I'm like, like now I got to go in and coat the damn thing. And I mean, then that's typically the easier part of the job, but
now you're exhausted from the day prior, and you're like, even the easiest thing just seems like the most like daunting task.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's be smart about how you are working your body, or what your body is telling you, and it's good that you're finally doing that because I know you've been dealing with it for a while. So I have had
a variety of health issues my whole life that I have just basically ignored. Just ignored it. And now there's some that are just becoming unignorable at this point. I can no longer just continue on. So I had to make some changes, but that was always, so in a different way, that was always my plan, is to step back from the physical detailing. So when I opened my business, the goal for my business in the beginning was that I wanted to build up my business. I started with one vehicle, and then I actually had 2 vehicles at one point. And I I wanted to have like a couple, like, I don't know. Once I got 2, I was like, do I really want to do 3? But maybe I'll just stay at 2. I don't know. But like the goal, even from when I started the business, was to have a couple. Yeah, just like a couple and a couple vehicles going out and doing the jobs. And yeah, that was my goal, was to have staff taking care of the customers, and I would be running the business, which is like, that's like what a business owner is supposed to do.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
like the owner of Target isn't ringing people up, like, so that was always.
Well, nobody's ringing people up at Target except for self-checkout. So come on.
I'll get into the self-checkout. I love self-checkout. The less people I have to talk to.
Listen, I don't get, I mean, I kind of get why everybody bitches about it in a sense, but like, I'm the same way, man. I would much rather go through self-checkout. You don't have to have that awkward conversation. Like, how's your day going? Oh, you bought you bought this. Tell me, I've always wanted to try this. Is it good?
Small talk makes my skin crawl. Like, I can't.
Just let me go. Let me scan it. Let me throw it in the bag and let me get the hell out. Wave to the guy. Oh, thanks for checking out. Thank you. Like,
thanks. Have a great day. You too.
Yeah, I love self-checkout. I'm all for it. Like, whatever.
I think, okay, so we talked earlier about like my introvert, extrovert, whatever.
Yeah.
I really don't have a problem talking to people. I hate small talk.
Okay.
Talk to me about something else. I don't want to talk about the weather. I don't want to talk about how are you today? Like, I don't know. I don't even like being asked, even from people I know, like, hey, how are you? How was your day? I don't know how to answer that. I'm like, I don't know. My morning was different than my afternoon was.
Every phone call from now on is going to be like, hey, how you doing today?
How's your
what
day
do you
going?
think about this weather we're having, Jackie? Pretty soon it's going to be like, the number you have reached.
It's no concern to change my fucking number. Alex can't call me anymore.
Damn it, Jackie.
No, but that is, so maybe that's one of the reasons why, like, I don't mind doing, the trade shows and things like that, and why
it's like, not small talk again. Yeah. Like I said before, it's people that have the same interest in what you're doing or what you're pitching or whatever. So it's easier to talk to.
But yeah, I don't like, no, it literally makes my skin crawl. Like, please don't ask me how I'm doing. Like, don't, like, no, I don't want to talk to you in the checkout line, and I would much rather do self-checkout like every time.
Yeah, I would.
But yeah, so the original goal was to have direct staff detailing, and now the way that it's shifted is I'm still on track to meet that goal of like stepping away, but instead of having direct staff that I train and works for me, and this is their only job, then I have this list of detailers that they, and again, like I said, I vetted them. I know that they do a good job. Like, I met them, worked with them, like whatever the case is, but they're doing the jobs now. So it's really, like, when you think about it, it's really not that much different than how I had been running my business.
Yeah.
You're
just using somebody else's business as kind of like your employee almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Subbing it out.
Yeah. So that, yeah, I'm still on track for that goal of, stepping back from the business and running a business rather than being a detailer forever. That was never my goal in starting a business. I never wanted to be a detailer forever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think most detailers ever think they want to be a detailer forever. They have the ambition of, because I mean, let's face it, we all see it on Facebook, the guy with the big shop, the high-end cars, all the employees, and they're living the sweet life and everything. So that's what most people think. But a lot of times it's not that. It's you by yourself in the shop, picking out compound boogers at the end of the day of, rotary cutting or DA cutting
What a visual. Thanks for that.
Crash guard. Oh yeah. You never heard anybody talk about compound boogers? Come on.
No, I guess.
It's the one thing I hate about polishing is not compound boogers, but you come home and you just still smell compound. Like even after you take a shower and you cleaned up, like you can just still smell the compound. And everybody should be like, "Oh, wear a respirator." Ah, fuck that. Nobody wears a respirator. Breathe that shit in. Be a man.
I don't even know where to begin with that. Yeah.
Anyways, so back to what you were saying.
Yeah. So basically, I'm pretty much still on track to do what I wanted to do with my business. It just looks slightly different. And one of the things also that I wanted to be able to do is my partner works remote. He's had a remote job since a couple of months after we like first got together. And so we've had to limit our travel and things like that, even just to like visit family or even to just do things like in Florida, like not even, going anywhere crazy. We've had to limit those things because I've always had a job that I've physically had to be in order to make money.
Right.
And so now that I have gotten to that point where I can take a step back from the physical detailing, I have 2 remote jobs. Now I'm also kind of in a place where we can go do stuff. Like he's not even here. He's out of town. He's in Colombia right now.
Yeah. He said, "Listen, your check engine light's been on too long. I'm about to trade you in for
for a newer model."
Yeah. I'm kidding.
No, it's but yeah, no, so he's out of town. And I mean, he left on Wednesday and Wednesday was like a travel day, so he really couldn't do stuff, but he worked yesterday and today.
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, he didn't have as many like meetings as he normally did. It was mostly like just
calls and emails and stuff like that or
whatever. Yeah. Not so much like calls, but just like emails and actually physically doing the work that he does. And checking on his team. So so he's on that, and then he can work from wherever as long as he has an internet connection. He can work. And now that's kind of like what my life is gonna look like, I guess.
No, that's cool.
That's crazy to me. I don't know. I never really thought that. I don't know. I never really thought that I would get there, because in building my business, like I actually yesterday was my 6-year anniversary, right? So
nice, congrats.
And thank you. In that time, it just felt like there was just like always something, and at times I, had doubts, and I thought like I'm not ever going to get to where I want to be and be able to get my business to a place where I can take that step back.
Right.
And like now, like it's almost like just everything kind of all came together at once, and it feels really weird.
Isn't it cool how it works like that sometimes?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking. I'm genuinely asking because for me, no.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess I've just not really had things like this happen in my life, like in general, not even just with work, but just like in general. Like,
right.
I don't know.
So what's like long-term goals for Jacki? I mean, now that you kind of have these like, jobs that are less strenuous on your body, give you a little bit more freedom or free time. Like what's 5 years from now or 10 years from now? I mean, do you still want to, I mean, like, is detailing industry like it for you? Or is this something like, who knows, maybe in 5 years you transition into a different thing, or in 5 years, like, I want to do this different thing within the industry?
So I'm gonna say probably staying with this. I feel like I'm pretty, first of all, like I'm pretty loyal. So once I like commit to a thing, like that's
Right.
what I do, I guess. And yeah, so I don't know. I also never really thought when I was younger that I would be in the detailing industry in the first place. And it just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I hope that like in 5 years that I can I have a really like shallow thing right now. Like I feel like it's like one of those things like once I get my schedule right, it's over for you hoes. Like, I'm gonna look so good and I'm gonna like have
Right.
my so I'm like gonna get up and I'm gonna like go to the gym and I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna make all this money and I'm gonna look so good. That's yeah. And I'm gonna get my retirement account up and then in 5 years I'll be retired living in Colombia.
Be like, deuces, bitches, I'm out. Why Colombia?
Oh my god, the food is so much better.
Yeah.
So that's honestly one of the things that I really, really like is the food is it's really funny. Like our favorite restaurants in the area we go to are actually Peruvian. So it's not necessarily the Colombian food specifically. It is
Right.
the fact that it is so much less processed than our food is here in the United States. And I know that's like, whatever, I don't know. It's real. When I tell you that I go there and like now over the past year or so, I've had trouble eating certain foods, which I've never had trouble in my whole entire life eating these certain foods.
Right.
And I will go to Colombia and I will eat those foods and not have a problem. And here I'm taking 3 different medications just to combat like it's garlic and onions. I can't have garlic and onions anymore. And it's in everything. And so I'm literally taking medications to try and combat the effects it has on my body now. And I go to Colombia and I take like my one daily med and I don't have to take any of my backup as needed meds. And it's great. And your body feels better. And when we come home and you have that first meal here, you feel like shit.
Yeah.
And
it's like not eating McDonald's for like 3 months, and then you're like,
then,
you know, I'm craving for it, and then you eat it, and you're like, oh my god, what did I do to myself?
Yes, but that's what it's like when we go there, and it's a big difference. It's even just like we'll go for like a couple days or a week at a time, and even just in that small amount of time, your body, like it's a big difference. You come back here and like you feel like shit, and you're like, why do I feel so bad? Another thing too is
they have that super powder down there that makes you feel great all the time too.
Oh my god. No.
I'm not saying, just it's known. Colombia's known for a certain thing. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah,
you
coffee.
Say Colombia, everybody thinks Pablo Escobar.
No, coffee. I mean, they're famous for the coffee.
Oh.
Right? Colombian coffee?
Maybe that's the super powder I was talking to. You just went in a different direction. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
That's what it is. So, so another thing that I really like about going to visit there is it's so much more walkable, which this might be different for, people in the US in like bigger cities. Where we live in Orlando, it is like not walkable.
Yeah.
And so in Colombia, like we'll walk like everywhere. I mean, we'll take Ubers and stuff if it's too far.
I feel like here in the States, like the only real places that are walkable in any cities are like downtown areas. Kind of.
And that's it.
Yeah, because everything else is like, and not that you can't walk in neighborhoods, but it's not like you're gonna Like in downtown
No, it's
areas, you can
walkable.
walk.
Like you can walk to things. Like we will literally
Right.
walk to the groceries. The
Yeah.
grocery
Yeah.
store. We will walk
Right. The
to
grocery store,
have
the
lunch.
yeah.
Like we'll walk to wherever we're going. We'll walk to the like if we're going out that night, like we'll walk to the nightclub we're going to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
You can't
and
do
that's
that in most
no,
cities in Florida or in the US, period, really.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's so great. And it means nothing like to just walk like a couple blocks. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's only like 4 blocks. Oh, let's walk instead of
Right.
taking an Uber or whatever. And so we walk a lot. The food is better. Like I just feel better
Yeah.
being there. And it's also, honestly, it's so much less expensive.
Yeah, that's true. My buddy
Yeesh.
goes there quite frequently, and he's always like, dude, he's like 2 hookers and a steak for less money than I pay for a steak. And
Wait, you have another friend other than me that goes to Colombia?
yeah, yeah. I have another friend who's, I don't know, he might be way more debaucherous than you when he goes to places. So I live vicariously through him. I'm like, dude, tell me about it. He's like, bro.
No,
he's like the one guy from Office Space. You know, he's like 2 chicks at one time because I think that's good. Like, what would you do with $1 million? 2 chicks at one time.
Yeah, it's there definitely is a industry for that down there. But
Okay, I'm back.
What just happened?
I don't know. There was a loose cable and I touched it to try to plug it back in, and then everything went.
Now I'm on the other side.
It's fine.
I'm on the other side of the screen now. I don't like it.
Is it gonna mess you up? Is it gonna mess there?
Yes, I want to be on the other side. Thank you. Yeah. See some spirals a little bit.
Yeah.
Can't. No, but like, yeah, there's a lot of cool things about it. It's very different from the US though. Like, yeah, I don't know. There's just some things that are like very, very different. I feel like it would be an adjustment period to live there. We did live there for a month. We went there one time we did a medical vacation, and we went for a whole month and stayed. Majority of that was like kind of recovering and dealing with all the medical stuff. So it wasn't truly like living there, but yeah, we were there for a month.
Wow. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, Rod and Jody are going to let you be remote. You could even move down there and still do Detail Bookie.
But one time, so you were talking about like the steak dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
And we went, it was my partner's birthday, and we went a group trip with like some friends. And then we also like, we've gone there many times, and we have friends there now too.
Right.
So like friends from the US took a trip with us. We met up with our friends there. We went out to dinner to our favorite steakhouse. It's this beautiful view. It's in the mountains, and you can see the whole city, and it's so beautiful. And everybody had drinks. There was multiple pitchers of like sangria. There was table appetizers, like table style. So we just ordered like a bunch for the table.
Right.
We each had our own entree, which was mostly steak or like surf and turf type entrees. And then because it was his birthday, we did order like a couple desserts or whatever, again, to like split with the table. And our bill, I want to say it was like 9 people. And all right, so like nice steakhouse in the US, 9 people, drinks, apps, entrees. Like, what do you think per head? What do you think it would be?
Well, just going off of when Michelle and I go to Capitol Grill, and I mean, we'll spend usually $100 a person on like table sides or family style sides, and then filet mignon, you know, and then we don't really drink. So I can imagine drinks are, another, $5 plus on top of that. So you're talking 9 people, you're probably $1,000 easily.
An alcoholic beverage for $5? Where?
I mean,
in 2000?
No,
what?
not in 2000. We're in 2021.
Yeah, where do you get an
2025.
alcoholic beverage for
Aren't they all like
$5?
$5? I don't know. I don't drink. I'm just
Oh my
saying.
God, no. Alcoholic drinks at like restaurants are literally like $10, $15, $20 a piece.
Oh, they're more expensive than that? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where are you getting your
I don't
numbers
know.
from?
I
Like
don't
20 years
drink.
ago?
I don't yeah. So I don't drink. I don't drink, so I don't know. Michelle's the one that drinks, and I just sign my name on the check. Like,
No, I don't really
I
drink
don't
either, but
I don't look. I just go, "Oh, okay, tip should be this much
this one, yeah.
because it's, 20%, 25% or whatever. It's this much," and I sign my name on it, and off I go. I listen, when we go to places like that, I really don't wanna look at the bill. I just wanna add a tip to it, sign my name, and go. Like, I already know it's gonna be expensive. I don't wanna know how expensive.
Um, yeah, so pretty much, yeah. I really don't drink either, but apparently my friends are all degenerates and they all drink, so
Right.
I know kind of how much things cost.
Gotcha.
I guess. Uh, so it was 9 people, all that food, nice steakhouse. I think with tip, and we tipped very generously,
Mhm.
like because the tipping culture is different. So like when we're tipping, it's like I feel like it's like a lot more.
Right.
And it was like $260.
Yeah. That's what my buddy was telling me. He's like, "Dude, it's ridiculous."
It's insane. Like
Yeah.
I don't like yeah, I just want to be rich enough so I can like take my private jet and just go have lunch there.
Yeah.
Like I just want to like just swing by for lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when he goes to places like that, or he'll go over to Asia sometimes and visit those countries or whatever, and he's like, "Dude," he's like he'll work here in the States for like a year or two, and just he's not married, doesn't have any kids, doesn't have a house, like he just bounces around or whatever. And he'll just bank. And then when he's fed up with it, he's like, "All right, I'm out." And I'm like, "Where are you going?" And he's like, "I'm gonna go south, either Colombia
I'm gonna
or
spin the globe and where am I
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go?
or he goes to like I remember for a while, like he went. So it's funny. This has nothing to do with detailing. I don't even know why I'm telling this story on the podcast, but I'm telling you. And it's just funny because of the way he did it. So he wanted to go to Thailand and he wanted to learn Muay Thai boxing or Muay Thai fighting or whatever, right? Because this was like he had gotten so big, he got diabetes. He like started working out in the gym, losing weight. He wanted to do Muay Thai so he could like get healthier and all that other stuff. So like he worked it out to where he could go over there for like 6 months on a student visa. I'm like, dude, you're not a student. Like, give me a break. He's like, yeah, but I'm going over there to learn Muay Thai. That's student. And I'm like,
That's it.
so yeah. But all he had to do was, I think, like every 90 days, he just had to leave Thailand, and he would go like to Vietnam for like 24 hours and then go back.
Yeah.
But
I
he
heard.
was like, yeah, I mean, he was like, he showed me the apartment that he was staying in, and it's like what would probably cost like $1,500 to $2,000 a month here
Easily.
was like
Easily.
$100 or something like that. Like he ate off the street carts, $2, off the street
Yeah.
carts or whatever. And he's like, dude, he's like, I just bank like 30 or 40 grand. And he's like, I can go live in anywhere else other than the US for, a year like a king,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, must be nice. Damn, getting
Yeah.
married and having a kid. Like,
It's funny. So yeah, we have a couple friends that actually did that, and they lived in Thailand and somewhere else. And they did that. They would leave, they would spend some time somewhere else, and then they would come back. And they lived in a couple different places. And actually, we have one of our friends is actually in the process of moving to Colombia right now, and
wow.
he's kind of the same. Like he doesn't have wife, kids. He's bringing his dog with him.
Yeah.
But he actually just his lease ends end of May, and yeah, he's in the process of moving to Colombia right now because he can.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have a house. He was renting an apartment, and he was like, if I move to Colombia, I'll actually be like saving money. He's like, I'm paying, X amount of dollars, like almost $2,000 a month for this apartment, blah, 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 with utilities, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like I can rent a furnished Airbnb for doing the math, right?
Yeah.
Like, and with the money that I'd be saving on like the food cost and entertainment and like everything else, like I'd end up saving money by being there, and I'd enjoy it. Like, and he has remote jobs too. So he's like,
yeah, I mean, that's the beauty if you've got a remote job and you can still make really good money US, you know.
Yeah, you want to make US dollars and live somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. Somewhere else where their money is worth less than our money. Yeah. That'd be awesome. Yeah. No, that's cool.
Living the dream.
Well, listen, we're an hour and 40
I know
something minutes.
Talked a lot.
No, listen, it's always fun talking to you. But I think we're in the rambling stage now, and I don't know that everybody wants to listen to us have a Alex Jacki conversation.
Yeah.
So, and plus it's 6 o'clock, and we're talking about all this food. Now I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
So
I need to eat.
I gotta go scrounge for something because the girls left me. So I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm alone too. I got a rotisserie chicken earlier at the grocery store. That's my dinner. I'm gonna put on gloves and just just eat it. I don't know. How do you describe that for the people who aren't watching?
I mean, I think you just did. You just put on gloves and you
just go for it, like caveman style. Like no utensils.
Nobody's at home to watch you, so you can just be as as filthy.
No, I do that when my roommate and my partner's home. I do that when they're home too. But you got to have the gloves because then it like all the I don't know.
Rotisserie chicken's always like greasy and oily.
Greasy, and it gets all on my fingernails, and like I can't. And and the Tizomax up.
You should be eating that damn turkey that was out on Markham Woods Road today. I don't know if you saw my video. I was leaving this will be funny for everybody who's still at this point.
Is anybody still here?
So, well, I mean, it kind of is detail life, right? So I'm leaving one of my clients' house in Markham Woods Road.
It's detailing related because you just finished a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
So driving down the road, and they were doing tree trimming on the road anyway. So it was like one of those, like, they had the crew out there, so they'd stop one lane, let the other lane go, and then stop that lane because you'd have to go in that lane to go around the tree trimming. So anyways, like the guy's got the sign flipped to slow, but like nobody's moving. I'm like 15 cars back. I'm like, what the hell is going on up here? And I see this lady like outside of her car. I'm like, why is this bitch outside of her car on the road? Get in your car. Like, typical Florida. Like, listen, people, when you see the memes about Florida drivers, yes, we really are it. Because I'm in my car out loud, like, bitch, get in your car. Let's go already.
What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, as she's running around her car one way, I see this turkey come around the car the other way.
They're aggressive.
And I'm like, oh, she stopped to help the turkey, and the turkey said,
"Fuck around and
find out." Yeah. so she got out to try and help the turkey cross the road or get out of the road, and the turkey's like, bitch, it's on now.
No.
So now other cars are like starting to go around her car, and then the turkey is like attacking the cars as they drive by, right? So I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm getting this on video. So I pull out my phone, and as I'm driving by, you see like the lady go around, and you see the turkey come. And this one, like
a cartoon.
Yeah. And this wasn't like no little ass turkey. I mean, this mofo was probably a good 3 feet tall.
Oh my God.
And
toddler.
Yeah, exactly. And what's funny is because when I was going to that house, I saw him on the side of the road. And as I drove by, like he puffed up and did all the feathers and everything. So, really looked like, a Thanksgiving turkey. And as I drove by, I was like, oh man, he'd be some good eating because it's a big turkey. It's not it's not like those little, I mean, it's a wild turkey, but it's not like one of those like the female ones that run around that's, look like Cornish game hens. This was like that 17, 20 pounder that, everybody's fighting for during Thanksgiving.
Thick.
Yeah. So that was my fun driving from one client to another, was watching some dumbass get out to try to help a turkey.
Did you see the end of it? Did she end up getting back in her car, or did the
no, she was, when I drove by, she was still
running in circles.
Yeah, she was still running around the car trying to, whatever with the turkey. I was like, no, I'd love to sit and watch this, but I got to get to the next client. So
I gotta go watch your video now.
yeah. Yeah, it's a quick drive. And it was funny too, because Michelle called me right as I was getting up to it. And I was like, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. I'll call you back. Because it messed up because I couldn't do the video.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the hell happened? I was like, I needed my camera to film this. I'll send it to you. So yeah, she said she sees that, she drives that road every day. She's like, oh yeah. She goes, I see that turkey out there all the time chasing cars. I'm
so
like,
that turkey lives there.
Yeah. I was like, somebody needs to run that bitch over. I mean, just stop fucking around. If it's attacking cars, it needs to go. That's the way I look at it. It needs to be on a plate somewhere. So
that happened to the turkey attacking cars happened like literally on my street when one of my staff a couple years ago was coming to meet me for a job that morning. Like we would meet at my house and then go to the clients together. And she's on her way to my house and I got a text from her. She was like, running a few minutes behind. I'll explain when I get there. And I was like, all right, no big deal. And there was a turkey like in the road. And so she's driving and it's a single lane, right? So one lane going one way and one lane going the other way. And so she's driving and the turkey's in the middle of the road. So she goes over and it's a really like quiet road, right? There's like no, so she starts to like go around the turkey and the turkey like runs into her car. And so she's like, all right, fine, I'll go back in this lane. And the turkey like runs in her car and she's like, I need to get to work. Like, I can't be playing these games. Like, and the turkey was just like attacking her car. And like, bitch, are you not scared? Like, go away.
Yeah.
But
foot down, mash the pedal.
Well, for that one, you'll be happy to know when we came back from the jobs that day, it was on the side of the road. Yeah. Someone had gotten it.
I mean, listen, sometimes they just need, that's like those stupid sandhill cranes.
Oh my God. Those things are not afraid of anything. They're like,
they're not because they're like
square up with you.
6 feet tall and they just like you could fly. It's the only bird that I know of that sees cars coming and is just like, what? I'm walking here. You know,
they literally stand in the middle of the road and they're like, what? What are you going to do about it? What?
Exactly. And you can't get out and square up with them because they're as tall as a human.
Well, and aren't they also protected? Like you get in trouble if you do something to the cranes. They just stand in the middle of the road like they don't know they're protected.
We need to get them off that list so we can start running them over. Those other ones. All right. Well, if you listen this long, there's some bird, some bird, whatever stuff for you. Listen, as always, I mean, we talk all the time, so this is always fun. But I appreciate you coming on and talking about Detail Bookie and everything that you're doing. Listen, it was about 5 years ago the last time you were on. So maybe the next time I have you on, we'll find out if you're living in Colombia. And
stay tuned to find out.
Exactly. We'll find
Detail
out.
Solutions podcast in 2030.
We'll find out what 5-year Jacki is doing. Yeah. So, all right. Have fun. Take care.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.